I got no tow hitch there. There's a tow hitch in here though. We're gonna put it on. All right. So this right here is the Curt Class 3 tow hitch for the Kia Sportage. This one works for multiple years. It's rated up to 3,500 pounds for your gross trailer weight, and the tongue weight can support 525 pounds. It's supposed to be plug and play, so we're gonna see how easy it is to actually install this. And it looks like all the hardware comes with it. Now, according to Curt, this is all that you need for the install, but I added gloves and eye protection at the end because I don't want anything in my eyes.
You're going to want to stick around to the end of the video. There's some things that I ran into that you might also encounter, and hopefully from my example, you'll be able to address those things if you run into them or avoid them entirely. Here we see I've just sprayed the exhaust mounts with degreaser so that they'll come off easier, and I've got the exhaust tied up so it doesn't hit me in the face. When I was test fitting the bolt holes, this one was giving me some issues, so I got my tap out and was able to clean up the threads. Every other hole was working just fine, so I wasn't too worried. Then came the install. Initially, I tried to line the hitch up without the use of a buddy, and that didn't work so great, so I used this stool to keep everything in place, and that worked out pretty well for me. Then I was able to get all the bolts in, hand tight, except for the ones on the side. I tried to fight it and get those in without removing the plastic pieces, but it just wasn't in the cards. So eventually I took out the plastic pieces and was able to get those side bolts in no problem. And honestly, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be to get those plastic pieces off. With all that extra space, I was able to get my impact wrench in there just fine and torque everything down. It's supposed to be torqued down to 48 foot-pounds. Once it's all torqued down, I was buttoning everything back up. Honestly, my biggest hang-up was me not taking those plastic panels off sooner, so make sure you do that first.
It sits down here back about 2 inches from the edge of the bumper, and we're going about 3 to 4 inches down underneath. So you do lose a little bit of clearance there, but as long as you're not doing some crazy off-roading, that's not going to be a huge issue. Well, we got it in. Not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but still very doable on your own. I did end up using a little bit more tools to get mine done, and the ramps were a big help, but you don't need them to do it. We even saw that this stool came in handy. This is a 2-inch receiver, so it's going to fit a bunch of different applications. I personally am using this for my bike rack, so you can do a lot with this. It's not going to break the bank, and it's an easy way for you to take, I don't know, less than an hour to install it yourself and get back on the road.